Caleb Williams stepped to the mic yesterday and said that he would love to play in the Hall of Fame game Thursday night against the Texans. Was there doubt whether or not he'd want to be there, he'd be ready? He's convinced that he is. Williams added that the pros outweigh the cons in playing in the preseason. He's also feeling pretty good about the start of the regular season.
I think I'm on track to be ready. Exactly where I need to be and where they want me to be. I'm excited. Every day I wake up, I'm learning something new.
Yeah, I like that guy.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. I'm glad that that's where we're at in the playbook. The excitement level is mounting for Caleb in Chicago in a Bears uniform. Do you think he's going to be able to fulfill the dreams the Bears fans have for him this season?
Tell me, Kyle, as someone who grew up in Chicago, everybody talks. Don't you just edge of your seat?
Yes.
The cadence, the thoughtfulness.
Something's different about
Something is different, and it's a way that he looks to the camera, looks to the reporters, and he connects. And I thought that was a good soundbite that we just heard. I love the other soundbite. They said, what part of your game do you feel needs to come along the most between now and week one? Take a listen, hang on to every word, and watch the eyes of Caleb Williams.
Oh, wow.
My blitz and coverage looks and feeling the umbrella of the defense and filling that out to adjust, to adjust protection, to adjust, whether it's a run, flip the, run into it, flip the protection, get to a quick game, get to a cover zero check, however the structure of it works out, just progressing. And a lot of that comes with seeing it. And reps, and so that's why also preseason and those things are so important.
All right, it's a normal answer, but Akbar, he's answering the question. He's like, okay, blitz looks and my quick game, and the reporter was probably looking for he gave him a thorough, thoughtful. I don't know if this is forever. This is early. This is July 30th.
That's what I was going to say.
But with the one-word answers we get from most of the quarterbacks.
He's supposed to just be saying, just trying to get better every day.
Just trying to get better every day.
He didn't do the cliche. That's the normal athlete go-to, media training, go to cliche, and it sounds a little bit like this. We're just going to go out there and we're going to put 1 foot at a time.
Execute.
And we're going to execute. Yeah. And, we're going to get the ball down the field. Yeah. And we're going to run. And we're going to be tough.
So the excitement level, I'm excited for the football. I think it's going to be interesting to see how a rookie comes out of the gates, first overall, maybe the most hyped rookie since Trevor Lawrence coming out of college. But I like the media stuff too. I think he's different. I think he beats to his own drum, and it's in a Chicago old school town. So this clash of, they're excited now, but will they be excited if it doesn't, light up the world right out of the gates is interesting. And these answers, will we get these thoroughly? Because I think Caleb's smart. I think Caleb is one of the first NIL babies. And what I say about that is he was making real money in college and could have stayed in college and made real money in college. And the NFL is just the next step. It's not, all my dreams and wishes and I could provide for my people. He already was. So I think that he is a unique figure in the 2024 season and potentially beyond. But I love the way he's answering these questions and he's interacting with the media because it gives you a little window in how he's talking with his teammates. And there's more to him than just the football.
Peter, you just hit on something, and it was funny to me. You said NIL baby, and this is very interesting. But I think because he has a lot of that money, there's a lot of confidence that comes with having a little bit of money in your pocket. And so you're sitting up there and you're just kind of cool and easy with it. So perhaps the comfort is, I have nothing to lose. I'm stacked. You know what I mean? I came into this thing.
Made man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, he may have nothing to lose in some regard. It's just these Bears fans and this Bears community. I think it's perfect that Jamie started this conversation by is Caleb ready to fulfill the dreams of Bears fans? Not live up the hype, but fulfill the dreams. Peter mentioned, I'm from Chicago. You should see my text chains. People are imbeciles. And these are my old high school friends. The things that they say. We had a lot of time off, and one of the movies that I watched over and over and over was Dune 2. This big sci-fi epic and everything like that. And that's really what's going on here. If you know the movie, there's these people called the Fremen, and they live in this barren land, and everything's been taken from them, and they're just waiting and waiting and waiting for a savior. And that's the Bears fans. And there's false saviors and false prophets. And then there is the true Lisan al-Gaib, Muad'Dib. And that's who this guy is to them. Like, he is the guy who's going to save them. He's going to bring water to the desert. He's going to march them out of there. He is truly the Lisan al-Gaib. And it's like, as it's written, it's like an almost religious experience with Caleb right now. It's not just the next prospect. It's not Justin Fields. This feels like a completely different thing. And I will just say, like, you look at the week 1 schedule. We'll break it down as we get closer. And there's, the Chiefs and Ravens and all that. I think the biggest game of week 1.
Who do they play?
The biggest game of week 1 is Bears at home against the Titans at 1 p.m. Eastern, because that game has such high stakes. These other teams lose week 1. It's fine. Mahomes lost, Rodgers lost, whatever. We've seen them before. You can't come out week 1 of the Lisan al-Gaib regime and lose to Will Levis at home, because the next week they're on national TV against the Texans. So, like, that Bears-Titans game week 1, every single person in the 773 or the 847 or the 312 is going to be praying on their knees, please let him be good. Please let him deliver us from the desert in week 1. The stakes are so high.
Kyle, how dare you not hit us with a spoiler alert for Dune 2 before? I mean, like, I wasn't prepared.
I'm not going to remember any of that. All I heard was El Gaib.
Lisan al-Gaib, tongue of the unseen realms. Chalamet, of course, is Muad'Dib.
Chalamet that plays Bob Dylan and this guy?
Yes.
That's incredible.
And then Javier Bardem is Stilgar, as it's written. And he's going to be in Soldier Field like in the 10th row as Caleb goes deep to a doomsday on the first play for a touchdown. And you're going to go Bardem in the stands. He's got a Bears hat on with Bob Swirsky. He's going to say, as it's written. And that's the way it's going to go.
I don't know that I don't know that I can follow that, but
you can.
I will say this. I think that this is going to be a very hard one. This is like a marriage. It's like you're walking into a marriage and you're sitting there and you're supposed to fulfill all the romantic dreams. And I think anyone that is married, I'm married, I can tell you right now, it doesn't happen that way.
No.
But I am very excited about Caleb Williams and what he's coming into. As the first pick, I mean, he wasn't the first pick because the Bears sucked. That was something that they got in a trade from the Carolina Panthers. So that means he is walking into a team that is pretty decent. He's got, of course, the veteran Keenan Allen there. He's got DJ Moore there. He's got another top 10 pick with Rome Odunze. He's walking, I don't know and can't remember a quarterback who's walked into a situation like this in a while. He is set up for success.
Yeah, so, listen, Ryan Poles right now should be smoking a cigar and sitting back and being like, go get him, kid. Because all anybody wants to do is pick apart the Bears for what they didn't do for Justin Fields. They have done everything, including, I thought it was incredible, Albert Breer was on with Rich Eisen, and he had this report where they were allowed before the draft, the teams are allowed like 2 Zoom sessions with each prospect or whatever. He says they spent their entire Zoom sessions before the draft with Caleb installing the offense. Like, here's what we're going to do. Here's where we're going to go. They knew. That's been their guy. Like, let's not even do the get to know you. Let's start working on our third down package. That's how prepared they are. Now he just has to play.
It was never a question. Right. I spoke to Ryan Poles throughout the draft process. Like, it's Caleb. If we could do the Justin Fields thing, but as far as like Caleb or Jaden, like, it was nothing. Caleb. Now, would there consideration of keeping Justin Fields? Sure, that's what you do. That's why we do it.
But they weren't taking Drake May.
This wasn't like, let's bring in J.J. McCarthy for a visit.
Yeah.
No, he met with one team. Like, it was them.
Yeah.
At the third, like, it was done.
Yeah.
And so now it's not like, and this is, we're the NFL. We love all 32. Like, the Bears matter. Like, Chicago, it's a football town. And, like, gosh, if he can lift them and take them to new heights, like, we're talking first time in 40 years they've had a quarterback that's done that. And I think Jim McMahon was the last real true.
But everyone wants to say they suck, they're cursed, they're terrible, they'll never figure it out. Look at the Lions. Look at what the Lions are ahead in the NFC title game. They're great, they're favored. You would say the same things about them for 30 years. Don't tell me you can't turn it around. You can turn it around.
Yeah, this is the gift from Los Angeles that is really going to pay off. I mean, we already know the dude's a baller. We saw what he did in college, 30-plus touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. And what that tells me, especially with the kind of money you talked about, I'm going to use that one. I like that. The NIL baby. NIL babies coming in with confidence. There's one thing when you're coming in, you're insecure. You're coming in with no money in your pocket. You got all this pressure on you. You got to... I think that the confidence from having that kind of stack coming in changes the mindset of a quarterback. Okay. You can go out there and just play. The best players out there in the league are the ones who can play free. If you can play free of any pressure, you can go out there and just be.
I give you another little piece here. They were 7-5 last year at USC. Like, J.J. McCarthy has never lost a game. What adversity goes into 7-5? He's crying in the sidelines. Right. They lost all those games at the end. Like, Caleb, for better or worse, that's real adversity in LA. Like, USC fans were like, what the heck? We were supposed to be Heisman Trophy winner. They didn't do much last year. So I feel like he's already dealt with some of the adversities you're going to see in rookie year, and that's bad losses when you're putting up a bunch of yards and the defense can't stop him. I think he's in a good position right now, obviously for the player personnel, but also like mentally walking into this thing that, okay, I've seen some bad things in college football. I've had to transfer. I've played in different offenses. I feel like Caleb's in a better place now than a lot of rookies have been going in.
Can we see that tape again of him walking across during the draft night? He's so charming in his electricity and the way he enters this new era for himself in the Chicago Bears. Peter, you're going to be able to color in the lines here at the end of the story, but Caitlin Cowler was at The Athletic. Now she's at ESPN. One of her first stories now at ESPN, big ones, has been this new resurgence of what's happening to the Chicago Bears. And it's not just Caleb Williams. It's the fact that Matt Eberflus has a beard and a new haircut. She goes in on the fact that Eberflus's wife thought he should go shorter, and then all of a sudden he shows up with a beard, and the players are like, Coach, you look different. Way back now, Kevin Warren has this desire that every department of his in Chicago needs to be the best. And what did he do, Peter? He went out and got somebody in Kansas City to be his assistant to the president.
Teddy Cruz?
Ted Cruz.
Not the senator.
Okay, not the senator. Okay, so Ted Cruz, everyone would know Ted Cruz if we show this, which is he was the PR guy, the head PR guy for the Kansas City Chiefs, who's escorting Patrick Mahomes around everywhere he goes. He's next to Andy Reid. He's next to Mahomes. Kevin Warren goes out and gets Ted Cruz, brings him to Chicago, which now is Caitlin Keller reports is the reason why Kevin Warren even let Hard Knocks in the building for preseason, because you have someone like Ted Cruz who can oversee this new messaging that Eberflus has a new vibe. Caleb Williams is coming in, and that's the kind of young quarterback that you want to broadcast to the league because it feels like this is a different era.
We haven't even gotten to the Hard Knocks yet. I mean, we're going to see a lot.
I can't wait.
And they let him in. And listen, we keep saying, like, we're running these clips of Caleb talking, and even while the clip is running at the table, we're just saying, there's something different about him. Like, he has a little bit of a different cadence, a little bit of a
little Barack Obama cadence.
Well, that's up to you. You think he sounds like Obama?
Not the deep voice, not the resonance in the voice, but the cadence in which he speaks. It's very intentional. Okay. Well, look, let me be clear.
Here we go.
Sasha, Malia, you know what I mean? Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
It's good Obama.
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Now more than ever.
And he ends every press conference still with the Bears.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he does this
Bears?
claw thing. The bear claw in every picture.
But he's not saying the Bears. It does like it's different.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
Bears. It's got a little high note.
Something about him is different.
Yes.
I remember
yes.
when Mahomes came in the league. Just something felt different about him. So Caleb will be Mahomes. That's what I just said. Tweet it out.
I see your biggest game of week 1 for that 1 o'clock.
Bears-Titans. Yes.
Week 2, Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Texans.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
my
right.
goodness
That's right.
gracious.
These South rivals of theirs.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.